if Ringo is going to go out to tour with Paul.
Oh, I don't think that's might be asked. I mean, Paul's pretty got set in with his incredible band, and all those guys are friends of mine. Now, I was honored to be part of the Beatles' 50th anniversary in that all-star band. I mean, that was thrilling for me, just because it really went from what are the odds of a little kid seeing North Hollywood, seeing the Beatles on TV, and 50 years later I'm standing next to them celebrating the very same event. It really hit my heart, you know what I mean? I had a little moment, you know, looking at Paul and Ringo standing there. I'm looking up at, you know, Hard Day's Night footage, and I'm going, I'm standing here, man. You know, what are the odds? You know, and I felt like the luckiest man in the world, and I still do. Ringo's a dear, we're very close friends now. I never would have dreamed such a thing. I mean, I worked with Paul, and he was great. He's always been super nice to me. George Harrison was a friend of mine from 1992 to 1995. We saw a lot of each other, and then he got stabbed and went home and got sick. And I never, you know, I'd get messages through Jim Keltner and stuff, but like, hey, tell Luke I said hi. And I'd be like, and I call him and I'd say, hey, but you know, he changed his numbers and everything after the, you know, the tragedy. And I would, you know, I'm not going to call, hey, give me George's number, you know, even though he gave it to me. I didn't want to bother him because I knew he wanted to be around his family and stuff, you know. I mean, come on, I don't blame him. But the fact that I got to spend as much time as I did with him is something I'll cherish forever. And then Ringo, of course, I joined his band 9 years ago. And we've developed a real friendship over the years. I mean, at first, you know, of course, whenever you meet a Beatle, you're like, wow. But, you know, you get to know the man, and he's one of the finest human beings I've ever met in my life. And soulful and such full of love and funnier than shit. He's 80 years old, still runs on a treadmill like this every day, okay? Can be done. Makes me feel like an old lazy bastard when I see him. But, you know, I mean, these, you know, I've led an extraordinary life being able to work with all my heroes. Beyond anything I could have ever dreamt about. You know, I've had a magical career. There's a lot of guys better than me. I was in the right place at the right time. But, you know, it's luck to get in the door. It's not luck to get called back by the same people to do it again, because then they go, well, we like what you do, so come back. First I was like, well, so-and-so recommended you better be good. You know what I mean? And there's that. Once they like you, then it's a different story. Once you play on a hit record, then everybody goes, I want that guy to play on my record. That's the way it used to be. I don't know how it works now, you know.
Well, you just released your solo record.
I did.
So,
oh, you want my shameless plug? Here, right here. This is my new record here. You know, Mascot. You know, these are a real CD. Remember these? I got great response.
Yeah.
You know, I've already got a couple of million streams, which, like, if that was real record sales, it'd be a double platinum record. Hey, you know, you might not make any money doing it, but at least it'll put butts in the seats. That's what you hope. So I make records for art, for me. I did this for me. It's a bit of a vanity record because I have long jam stuff on there. My record company president, Ed, said, look, all I want from you is to play a lot of guitar on it. I know you want to sing and all that stuff, but you're playing some guitar, so I let the jams happen, man. And I kept it raw. I'm not fixing this. I know it's a little sharp on this one note, where the tendency would normally be these days to fix it, because you can. Put in Melodyne and just bring it down a little bit, and nobody will be the wiser. That's just like, you know, winning Grammy for Vocal of the Year. And they should give the award to Melodyne, not to an actual person, because everybody's in there just because you can. People are used to auto-tune being turned all the way up so it sounds like this weird robotic effect. I mean, that's what they want. It's misusing the gear. You don't want to hear that. But they turn it into an effect to where, like, people that can sing perfect pitch still sound out of tune to these people that don't know any better. No, you got to put it through the tuner, so it's really like this. It's got to be perfectly in time. I mean, they used to say we were slick and stuff, but we'd sit in a room and play together, and that's what it sounded like. Now it's like one guy at a time, put on a grid, time corrected, tuned. You can even take an out-of-tune acoustic guitar and tune it. You know what I mean? So basically you're turning a really ugly person into a supermodel, and it's not real. You know what I mean? That's an analogy, you know what I mean?
Old days, you know, like a slightly out of tune, or maybe not perfect,
Yeah, come on, what are you going to do? Turn the Rolling Stones into a Steely Dan record? I mean, that would be hilarious to listen to. Just as much as it would be to have a Steely Dan record turned into a Rolling Stones record. All loose and a little bit out of tune. But, you know, if the Stones were anything less than what they are, they wouldn't be the Stones anymore. That's like saying, oh yeah, the Clash. If you made them slick studio guys, we'd lose all the thing. For us, that's just the way we play, man. You know, I mean, if people like it, they do. Enough people like it. I'm still in business after almost 45 years. So I'm happy for my little acre that I got in my career. There's a million guys better, and most of them are my friends, and I'm in awe of them. You know what I mean? I got my little thing, and I'm real happy. I got a little taste of my career has been a blessing and something I don't take for granted. I'm very grateful for.
Do you have any desire to come up with an old instrumental guitar record?
No. There's guys that do it better. Who's going to do it better than Jeff Beck, Satriani, Vi, Petrucci, or any of these cats, you know, that are my friends, you know, I mean, that really have been doing it all along and really know how to write for it. To me, I'm more of a songwriter than I am a composer with insane odd times and all that stuff. I mean, I love that stuff, man. Some of the new prog metal stuff is just mind-blowingly good, you know what I mean? The musicianship is staggering and they're taking real shots at it. I mean, pop music just kind of got dumbed down, you know, it's 2 chords and people going, yeah, and making up weirdly repetitive lyrics, and there's 14 writers on it. How do you even make a living that way in a digital age? You sell 1 billion sales and you make $20 by the time everybody's been split out and paid taxes, you know? You know, it's just not, you know, you can't make a living as a producer or a songwriter anymore. Those guys used to own homes and, you know, have a real career, but now nobody's paying producers much money. They have to be a producer, engineer, or have to be able to, I got this much money and that's it. And I got to spend the rest of it on the record. So nobody, you know, you can do it, but you're not going to be living in a big mansion anywhere, you know what I mean? It's different. I mean, when people go, you want to produce my record, I go, I'd love to, man, but you know, I got to get paid for it. I've been doing this too long to do it for free. I do a lot of sessions for free. I just played on Mark Letterry's from Snarky Puppy, his new record, because he called me up and I'm a big fan and we've been sort of pen pal friend. Matter of fact, I stole their drummer, Sputs, the drummer from Snarky Puppy. He's the drummer in TOTO now. And I got John Pierce from Huey Lewis's band, who's one of my first friends. It was our high school bass player, you know, with me and Landau and John Pierce and Carlos Vega and Steve Picaro. That was our rhythm section in high school, and then Jeff Picaro and Paige would come down to jam with us at high school gigs, and that's how I got to be friends with them. So I'm kind of time tripping here, going back and forth, comparing myself to what you asked me, but I don't know, man. There's no pat answer to any of this stuff. It's really personal experience. I mean, if you grow up in Peoria, Illinois, and you could play like it's better than me or whatever, I'm sure there's a lot of people in Peoria that play better than me, but they don't have what it takes to deal with the pressure, or they don't. I grew up in Hollywood and all this stuff. My father was in show, my grandfather was in show business behind the camera, you know, doing television and film. They weren't musicians. But I mean, I grew up with, you know, famous people and it's, you know, you see them, you know what I mean? But, you know, if you live in Peoria, you don't see Steve Vai walk into your local coffee shop, or, you know, Tom Morello or somebody. Hey, Tom, what's up? You know, and they just all live around here, you know what I mean? Our kids go to the same school, you know. I remember doing a show with Billy Idol at my kid's school. It was hilarious, because all of our kids, you know, that's the way we got out of doing hours to clean up chairs and stuff. It's like we put on a concert once a year and make them a bunch of money, and then we didn't have to do all the chores, you know. So it was real funny to see cats with Toto, Billy Idol, and all these other, you know, Joe Perry's kid went to the same school, you know what I mean? And so we were friends, you know what I mean? Oddly enough, I mean, I'm friends with so many people, and Lemmy and I were friends. But we didn't listen to each other's music. We liked each other. You know, but of course I love and respect Motorhead, and he respect me. Lemmy's not going to sit around and put on Toto records, although Mickey D from Sweden loved our music and play it on the bus, probably bugged the shit out of him, you know what I mean? And it was funny, it was something Lemmy always had. We always had that whenever we'd see each other. It was like, you know, yeah, man, we're buddies. And we know, we respect each other, but we don't, you know, it's not about the music, it's about just I like you as a person. I was sad to see him go. We weren't best friends or nothing, but we hung out and drank and had a few laughs that I'll never forget, you know? He was so, like, you know, people would never expect me to be friends with Lemmy, you know what I mean? And it's not something I brag about. Now I mention it now in passing because he's not here anymore. Like, it seems like every week I'm burying another friend, you know? I mean, some best friends and some people like that were friendly acquaintances, you know? We're more than just, oh, nice to meet you, but we're not like, hey, let's hang out every night, you know what I mean? People go, what was Michael Jackson like? I said, he was nice to me, and we worked in the studio, but we didn't go out for dinner together and do anything like that, you know? I mean, I got a chance to have a working, friendly relationship and have a few laughs in the studio, but, you know, share a meal at Fulton for lunch or something like that. But, you know, so there are some people that I have retained friendships with that I worked with that are great artists that were just nice people, and we just got on great, shared phone numbers and stayed in touch. But I've had a 45-year career, so I met a lot of people.
So just to have a little greetings to Japanese people watching this.
Yeah. My friends in Japan, I've been coming since 1980. It's always been a high point, and I've been coming almost every year, sometimes twice a year. Doing Toto, doing solo stuff, doing some of my weird fusion stuff, working with Larry Carlton and Edgar Winter and you know, all the other great people that I've had to play and you know, the clubs, and also working with Udo-san and his incredible staff for all these years. And I've seen Japan change from a total traditional Japan into a metropolitan, could be anywhere city, you know, where Starbucks and McDonald's and everything is. But the one thing that really is different is your friendship and support and constant staying with us for all the years during the whole roller coaster ride of career. Sometimes we're on top, sometimes we were like down here going, trying to hang on, but you were always there for us. And I'll never forget that. And I've always had a special relationship. It's absolutely killed me that I haven't been able to be back to Japan in a year now. And I promise you, once the sun comes out for us and it's safe, I'm coming back, the new band's coming back, and I miss you all. And thank you for being such dear friends. And I really mean that with all my heart. I ain't kidding.